Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gert Clausen. I'll be chairing this session this morning. Welcome to this second Overstrand Environmental Seminar. There was one last year too. And thank you for attending this morning, and I hope you'll find this really interesting and stimulating. To open the session and to explain some of the background, a person I think most of you know, Dr. John Bristow. He's a geologist. He spent most of his working life in the diamond industry, partly in De Beers and in his own company. And as you probably know, he's involved, or is actually the founder of the OGG, the Overstrand Scientist Group here in Hermanus and around. They have their weekly seminars on Zoom and also meetings. Been a very active group. He, along with Mike Dormer here in the audience, they built the two geo-trails, one in Sandbaai, in Harold Porter, and the other one at the over at Gansbaai. So those of you interested in those geo-trails, are really wonderful to see the whole evolution of the world built onto scale. But John will introduce the session and explain the background. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Gert, and good morning, everyone. Just before we start, I effectively want to do the housekeeping. If there's an emergency, there's safety exit doors here in the front right, my right, your right, and left. So if there is an event or the lights go out and you want to get out of here, please stay cool and either use the back door if you're close or these two front doors. And then the bathrooms, restrooms are at the back, just outside the exit door. And then I think tea and refreshments, Gladine, will be served in the back area as well. Okay, so that's the background. And if you need any assistance, shout and we'll help you. So it gives me pleasure to introduce very briefly the second Overstrand Environmental Association meeting. We had a very successful one in 2023, February. So it's almost a year later that we're having the second one. And we really appreciate the turnout. It's great to see young people. There are a whole lot of young interns from Sandy and Harold Porter Gardens. And you guys are the future, so thanks for making the effort to get here. And as Gert said, we're a huge bunch of geologists, like many other professions that are retired, semi-retired, or active in this town and municipality. And if you want to learn something about the evolution of our Earth, either go to, or get hold of Mike Dormer, this is a sales pitch, and go and see what he did at the Penguin Sanctuary at Gansbaai. And then we've sort of taken it a step further at Harold Porter Gardens with people like Dave Moran, John Blaine, and several others, and built a 4.6 billion year Earth age display of this amazing globe of ours. Okay, all right, I'm going to just, a lot of people have asked what is the intention or the objective of the Overstrand Environmental Group Association. So there are 4 points there for you to look at. And all of this stuff, information, the presentations will be available later on YouTube, and we'll make sure those of you that registered will get the link. But that just summarizes more or less what we're looking to do. And you can read that, but the key thing for us is to involve the greater community in all the sort of challenges, and I won't call them issues, but the challenges we face in modern day South Africa, including in our environment, and critically around things like water, pollution, sewerage, invasives, and all of those things which have a huge impact on everyday life, and will have a bigger impact going forward. We all know the pressures this country is under, both at a country level, at a province level, and most of all at a municipal level. And best we all take note of it. And we also know in this Hermanus, Greater Hermanus and the Overstrand is a classic example. The skills, experience, intellectual property, just knowledge base is substantial. I look at it from a geological perspective, but that's medical, legal, financial, business. If we can unlock those skills and utilize them better, the sky's the limit for this country. Critical thing for me, we need to knock down the silos. I think we all grew up in an environment where we knew our space and you stayed in that silo. If you look at the world today, we really need to knock down those silos and start sharing ideas. And the sooner we do that, the better. And part of the reason I stress all this IP here and the need to use it is looking at the exit, the capital flight, and the flight of skills. And you can all, people sitting in this room, you'll all have family who are no longer here. And if I take my family, it's a classic example. And the one thing we forget too is we largely white audience today, but the flight or the movement of young black graduates, colored graduates, Indian graduates is also scary. And losing those people and the earnings potential and the capital they take with them is frightening. And it's something we need to address. So a critical thing for us, and me in particular, but that goes beyond just me, is also looking to get our young people involved, because that's the future. And in a sense, we oldies who've been incredibly privileged need to accept and acknowledge that the young people following us, and we need to leave an environment that's what we had, or should be like we had. So something to think about. And I stress the point too, there are a couple of words in there, forward-looking. What's happened, what has happened has happened. We can't turn back the clock, but we can work towards the future collectively. And it's been very interesting talking to some of the people who will present here today, including a very interesting gentleman called Johan Montgomery, is exactly that, looking forward. We have huge challenges in the onerous river system. From top to bottom, it's going to be talked about extensively today. How do we fix that, or repair it, or improve it? Best we all get together and look forward and come up with lasting solutions. Okay, so that's some of the background and the objectives of the Overstrand Environmental Group. Just getting to more practical issues, I just want to say a whole bunch of thanks. Kurt Clausen, who's going to be the chair today. Thanks to Tony Turton. Many of you may not know him, but heard about him. He's a fascinating character. Water's his passion, and he's going to talk to us very shortly about that. The organisers, we all have to give a big round of applause to Gladine Kruger. Gladine is a bulldozer, but she gets things done. And she's a member of our community. So thanks, Gladine, to you, and bringing or sort of accessing all your contacts. We really do appreciate that. I'm not going to go through all of that. Anton Kruger, a colourful character, let's state it as such, but he's done an immense amount of work on this river system, the estuary. He grew up in that estuary. And that sort of inherent knowledge and the passion that goes with him is important. And we can't, just forget that sort of knowledge and background. And again, he's young. He's not as young as he could be, but he's a young person. Okay. The many other organizations and individuals who've helped us market this, and the audience today is very much reflective of the extent of the flyers that have gone out to different people. The sponsors, again, thanks to all the sponsors. This is a non-paying event, but there are obviously costs behind it, the hiring of this facility, the refreshments you'll have today, the recordings, and so on. It does take rands and cents. So thanks to all of those people who have willingly made a contribution. Again, to the presenters, putting together professional presentations of the type that you'll see today also comes at a price. A lot of the people are still, like Johan, are still running businesses, so they've had to talk nicely to their bosses, and I know Johan worked from 2 in the morning for a number of days to get his presentation done, and I'm sure others did as well. We really appreciate that. Last point, and it's just a matter that we have grappled with. We unfortunately today don't see anyone from the Overstrand municipality here. That they're obviously a key player. I can assure everyone that we've tried, gone to great lengths to encourage them to participate. Anyway, it hasn't happened, but we'll keep on trying. So that's my introduction. We're going to have lots of interesting stuff to follow. It's not my presentation or my job to stand here and talk anymore. I'm going to ask her to introduce Tony.